Now, in this program, any resemblance between the people you see on the screen and real living people is purely intentional. Because, in fact, they are real, and it's our pleasure to catch them in the act of being themselves.
Hey guys, Rogue Nation here with you today. We got a banger coming to us from Margate, Florida. Coming to us from Ion Margate. I've showcased this guy's channel a couple times. He's really getting some good footage of some deep corruption down there. If you haven't checked him out, please go by and subscribe. This is the kind of work that we want to be supporting, is this gentleman here. This video is insane. It doesn't make any sense. These people are supposed to be professional. They're supposed to be in charge of the community. These people, this video is going to blow your mind. It's just so ridiculous. I don't want to say too much. We're going to get into it. Guys, go by and say hi to Ion Margate. Let them know I sent you. Sub them up. Give them a like, a share, subscribe. Again, this is the kind of guy we want to be supporting. He's putting out good content. He's, keeping these guys on their watch, and we need to help him out and support his fight against these kinds of people. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about in this video. You won't believe these guys. These guys should be sitting in jail, not running a city. All right, guys. Get at me in the comments section. Let me know what you think about this disgusting behavior, or in the chat. I'll probably premiere it tonight. And as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one, because there's always going to be a next one.
I wanted to talk about the CRA. We haven't had officer elections in the last, 7 or 8 years. And I think it's about time to do that.
Can we put that on the agenda for the next meeting?
The CRA's only got about a year and a half left. So you're saying that you want to choose a new chair, I'm assuming? Is there anything that the chair is doing that you don't approve?
I'd like to put it on the agenda, please.
I'm speaking to you because you brought this up, because I think this is a personal thing. You had a little problem with me during the polls, and now you want to take it out. I totally get your game, but to sit there...
You're way off. I don't know why you're taking it personally.
It's personal.
The
You know what?
CRA
It's personal.
has a very big job this year.
You did your job with your boy. It's good. Sit there. It's all personal. It's fine.
No, you're taking it personally, and you shouldn't. This is for the betterment of the city.
What do you mean? You want to add a name?
Yes, to add a name.
Well, I'd like to add my name.
Your background or your history, I don't think it hold a candle to mine, to be honest with you.
The chair and the vice chair should have FRA certification.
Can I jump in? I have it too. I completed all the classes.
Okay. Things on Facebook have been inappropriate.
Good luck, but you'll still never hold a candle to me.
Public comment.
But you got your boy over here picking. He picked your wife, too.
I am holding in my hand restraining orders, police reports taking from your law enforcement, threats against my life.
Don't go there with me. I'll have you thrown out. Don't go there with me.
I would like to read a text that I received. I will hand it to the police chief. You have disrespected. I will retaliate against you. I will have police escort outside.
The developer would want to go to the chair and tempt the chair to sway the board in a different direction. We're talking about a development that could be at least $500 million. You know, there's a lot of grease in that amount of money.
This guy, who will go to a homeless shelter and take food home with him, you want to make him the chair? You're going to win your little battle, but I'm going to win the war.
Your microphone was just turned off.
It's overdue. Stand up and apologize.
We're going to remove you. Sit down. So I'm going to have to ask the police chief to remove you.
I could be tempted to do something.
I'm going to throw you out.
The developer mentioned 2,200 units, and he thought it was a great idea. This is the only one up here probably that could be tempted.
Enough, or I'm going to have you all thrown out.
I'd like to insert the name Joanne Simone.
You know what? Remove him. Remove him. Disgusting. You can leave too. We're going to clean out the whole audience.
Swear on the Bible. Swear on the Bible.
I don't have to. You can leave too.
Watch what comes out now, Arlene.
I love being threatened. I'll read some of your emails. Anybody else from the public? Okay, then.
I wanted to talk about the CRA. The CRA this year has a very, very big job. We're talking about a city center project that could be as much as $500 million, maybe even more. I've talked about the makeup of the board before, and I think it's necessary to expand the CRA board. I think we should include, at the very least, an architect, an engineer, and an experienced major outside developer. Also, we haven't had officer elections in the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. And I think it's about time to do that. And actually, I would really appreciate the commission to discuss that now. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Can we put that on the agenda for the next meeting?
We can, yeah.
All right, good.
Hang on a minute.
Hold on, Lauren.
Hang on.
I appreciate you coming up and do that. The CRA's only got about 1.5 years left. So you're saying that you want to choose a new chair, I'm assuming, and obviously you're saying that you want to put it on the agenda. Is there anything that the chair is doing that you don't approve?
I'd like to put it on the agenda, please.
I heard you.
Well, first off, the job that you have to do this year and next year is a very big job. And you really need additional talent on the CRA. It must be expanded. It's something that I have talked about years before this. And it's not a question of good job, bad job, but I think a diversity of opinion is good, and I think a change is good, and that's why we have it on the commission. We rotate the mayor every year, and we should have a diversity of opinion, and I would like to hear the commission discuss that, to change the makeup of the officers in the CRA, and to include additional members. Actually, the chair should have suggested that, because this, again, this project is very big, and you need that additional talent and diversity of opinion to give you better advice. Thanks.
All right, I just want to say this. I've been the chair for a while. I've been through the hard times, the good times, the brutal times.
Why
I
don't you
fought
discuss it with the
with
commission?
them, because I'm speaking to you because you brought this up, because I think this is a personal thing. I think it's a personal thing.
Not at all.
There's nothing, I mean, if there's something I've done wrong in the CRA as the chair, explain that. But to ask somebody to put it on, somebody who doesn't really care for me as well, I have no problem going to battle for this. I think I've done a great job. I've got the most experience there in building. I've been there when we went through the lawsuit. I fought along with 2 other commissioners that were here at that time. You had a little problem with me during the polls, and now you want to take it out. I totally get your game. There's 1.5 years left, but to sit there.
You're way off.
I'm way off. Okay, and as far as adding 2 people to the
I
board,
don't know
that was
why
discussed.
I don't know why you're taking it personally. You
I'm not
shouldn't
taking
be.
it personally. You're the one that came up there and
You have a
asked.
project that's going to be at $500 million. You need as much diversity of opinion as possible.
That's not what you asked. You asked it.
I asked for both.
Change.
And quite frankly, the chair should have been thinking about this for a project this size. I mean, we talk about, I heard you the other day, and you told the developer, well, you know, you're going to expand, and I haven't seen on the plan anything about retention pond. Yeah, you know what? It's required. But before that, I heard you speak about at the candidate session, well, when we have the city center, we're going to have a lot of dirt and fill, and we can fill in Lemon Lake.
We have a huge lake behind Walmart. The city owns it. It's called Lemon Tree Lake. Huge. I talked to the city manager about 6 months ago, and I said, when we do develop downtown, we're going to have a lot of fill. Right off of 595, there's a huge lake. It used to be at 595 in the turnpike. They filled it in. They put in condos there. I said, when we're going to take all this fill out, start filling the Lemon Tree Lake, there's no purpose of it. There's no boats back there. There's no nothing. There's acres of water back there, stagnant water doing nothing. There's businesses that used to take waste, meaning dirt, fill, bring it to that 595 lake, and they used to charge them to dump it. The city can charge people, fill up that lake. Not only will we make money, but we'll be creating green space. That's not what I said, that we could take the dirt and fill, and rather than paying for it to be shipped somewhere, you could take the dirt
you
and
said you could fill
and
in
put it
Lemon
in the
Lake.
lake and
Gentlemen.
create a
But that's not the
small
point. That's not the
area
point.
to create
Don't
more
take it
green
per-
space.
Take it personally.
It is
The
personal. You know what? It's personal. And when
CRA
it comes
has a
up,
very big job
you
this
did
year.
your job. You did your job with your boy. It's good.
What
Sit
boy? What are you
down.
talking about?
It's
Tell
good. It's good. I mean, I'm not going to put up with this. It's all personal. It's
No,
fine.
you're taking it personally, and you shouldn't. This is for the betterment of the city, not for you personally.
The change the
I
chair.
think he heard what you had to say. I think you heard what he had to say. Is this something I need to poll the commission on to do? Since we've had a member say that he would like it put on the agenda.
It's up, David Tolston, city attorney, it's up to the commission and ultimately the mayor as far as what goes on the agenda, so, you know, however you want to handle it. But it would have to be put on an agenda at the beginning of next year.
No, I got that. All right, so you know what? I'll poll the commission just to see. Commissioner Rosano,
What is the exact?
what am I polling
I
about?
don't. What,
All right,
is
So
it
if I
adding more?
could-
Is it adding more people to the board, or is it changing the?
I think it's discussing.
So the CRA board, the maximum can be is 7. Okay, so if you're going to discuss that, the most you could add potentially would be two.
I have no problem with that.
So, and then, so the other item is the chair, vice chair issue.
I have no problem.
Okay. Commissioner Caggiano,
I got no problem with it.
Commissioner Simone.
No problem.
Okay, I have no problem either, so we'll do that.
One eternity later.
City Commission of the City of Margate, Florida, approving the appointment of blank as chair of the City of Margate Community Redevelopment Agency Board, providing for an effective date. This resolution is for your consideration this evening.
What's the wish of the commission?
What do you mean, you want to add a name?
Yes, to add a name, yes.
Okay. Well, I'd like to add my name.
Do we have a second? I'll second it. Let's see what happens. Any comments from the commission?
I'll say a couple comments.
Okay.
All right. So when this item came up a couple of weeks ago, it was brought up because the quote was the board expansion along with a new chair. There's only about a year and a half left in the Margate CRA. I've been there for 6, 7 years now. Thought I was doing a good job. We moved along as a group. We did a lot of things together. I understand that there was an election. I understand that there was some bitterness, and if there was, I apologize. Might be too late, but. Oh, that was Margie? That was Margie? But all in all, this is, I really feel that this is personal. And if you guys want to start the year off like this, we have a year and a half left with the CRA. That's fine. You know, as far as my experience compared to yours, I don't know what yours is as far as development, as far as building, as far as contract negotiation. I've been in development for almost 30 years now, state certified general contractor. We're getting very close to getting shovels in the ground, and I thought I was doing a good job. So if this is personal, I get it. If it isn't, then I don't know what it is, because your background or your history, I don't think it hold a candle to mine, to be honest with you. And Arlene, I really hope you would consider it. And Joanne, I really do. And I wish Commissioner Arserio was here too. But if that's the will of the board, that's the will of the board. You know, we're supposed to be collaborating together, and I just don't think that this is going to be a good signal for the next 18 months, but it's up to you guys. It is what it is. You know, elections have consequences. Just to be honest, I didn't endorse anybody physically. I was on the same card as another person, and it was what it was. So I don't regret anything I did. I've always played by the rules. No rules, Rosanna. That's my nickname. But as far as personally, you know, I've never done nothing to hurt you guys, and I never would. I've never done anything to hurt the city. And I think that with my experience and what I've done in the past, all of us have made great decisions with the CRA, and I'd like to see it continue that way. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want to say anything? Commissioner Simone?
Yes. My opinion is I think the chair and the vice chair should be fully educated in statute 163, which is the CRA statute, and they should have FRA certification. I know that Commissioner Arserio, Commissioner Caggiano, and Kale all have FRA certification.
Can I jump in? I have it too. I completed all the classes.
Okay. I did not know that. All right, well, that was one of my reasons. Another one of my reasons is I think that things on Facebook have been inappropriate postings. I don't think they have presented a good image for Margate. And I know all the ethics training I've ever taken, including the last one by David's law firm, said that you should not do business within your own entity. And I know that that has been done, and those would be my reasons for picking a different chair.
Commissioner Rosano, your mic's on again.
Yeah, as far as the Facebook comments, you know, nobody's going to shut me down. I am what I am. I am who I am. As far as me doing business in the city, there's nothing wrong with it. There were former mayors here. I'll say their names: Barcelone, Donovan, Tallarico, McLean. They all did business in the city. Every one of them. There's nothing I'm doing that any of them haven't done. I'm doing the same thing. I'm making a living. Not only that, but if you look at what I'm charging people, I'm charging them a lot less because I'm doing it for my heart. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it for my heart, and I'm doing it because I want to beautify my city. I'm not making a ton of money off of this, believe me. You know, but to say you already had your speech prepared, Joanne, that I didn't have the FRA, I did have it. I do have it. And you know what? I pay my taxes. I pay my full share of taxes. That's number one. I don't rob the city. okay? I have a business. I have a family. I have a lot of friends. I would never hurt the city. So if you want to nominate him, knock yourself out. It's all personal, and you know what? It is what it is. And Aunt, good luck, but you'll still never hold a candle to me.
Please don't call it. I'm here to tell you, there's nothing personal here for me, because quite frankly, it is true that if a resident had not brought up the fact that we hadn't rotated it, I never would have thought about it. I don't think any of us ever thought about it. But clearly, I do remember that there was a time where somebody else held that job, and no one was very happy about it. I was sitting in the audience at that time. No one was very happy about seeing one person keep it for any length of time, that it probably should have been rotated. I'm not interested in doing it, so I have nothing personal in it one way or the other, but I think it should be rotated. And I'm not sure that whatever we're asked, and I have no idea what you've been asked at the chair, but I'm not sure that whether you have experience in a certain business or not makes a difference in this, because from what I gather, we hire people to constantly give us opinions anyway. So I have no idea if you've had input in that or not, because that never gets to me. But do I think it should be rotated? I think it probably should have been rotated 7 years ago when we didn't do it, because nobody thought of it. And until a resident brought it up, I don't think we would have thought of it now either. But I don't have any personal stake in this one way or the other. I get nothing out of it. Any other comments from the commission?
I got one more.
Go ahead.
Arlene, if it's not personal, then what do you think he has over me? I haven't even heard him speak as far as do redevelopment, construction, contracts, or anything. So many times, I don't brag about it, I've looked over city drawings, contracts, and went over it with the city. They've even asked me questions. I've got more experience than anybody in this city that works here as far as development. I'm a licensed general contractor longer than anybody in this city. But he feels that he should get the position? Why? Let's hear it.
But you're making it personal now.
Arlene, I'm not making it personal. I'm fighting for something that I'm passionate about. And you're saying that 7 years ago, I was nominated. You and him came on. You guys joined me.
Yes.
The only one up here that voted against the project across the street. I am the only one here that voted against it. Arlene and Anthony came, killed the project. Everything was great. Granted, this election came up, things happened. Now all of a sudden, it's let's get rid of Tommy.
But we didn't bring it up.
Arlene, but there's
Do
1
you
year
realize it
left.
didn't
But
come
there's
from
1 year
us?
left. I just want to know, why is it you would pick him? You just said, I think we should rotate because of the position, but for what reason?
Because we should have rotated it for the whole time.
We should have? Okay. All right. You know what, don't even worry about it. You can see the way it's going. You know, it is what it is. Elections have consequences. It is what it is. You got what you wanted.
It is against you, Tom, because these two right here.
Quiet, please.
If you want to say something, come up and say it on the mic. Okay. Public comment. Wait till you get there.
Margaret, I never wanted to come up here, but I hear so much negative about you, and you don't show up to anything for Margate. I don't show up, but when I'm there, I don't see you even involved in Margate. Joanne, you do nothing. When you retire, it'll be the best thing for Margate. And you don't even know, I don't even want to say, but you got your boy over here picking. He picked your wife, too.
Okay. I'm going to make a comment that those comments can't be made here, and shouldn't be made here. Okay. Any other member of the public?
Margate resident. And hold on, because what I am going to say, it's going to send lightning and thundering after what I'm going to say, is that I want to thank Mr. for bringing this item and for bringing this matter to the attention. I agree with him. I think this is the second time that I have agreed with him in the past 9 years. And it has all happened this year. Amazing. But anyway, I think that the chair should change. It should have changed each year. It has nothing to do with how the person who is the chair is doing. Is to give the opportunity to other members to do that. The chair does not get the credit for what the group does. The members do. The chair does not get the credit for it. The group of 5 members make the decision. The chair guides the discussion and informs of the decision. All members are part of this decision, at least is what I believe. It has to be on any board, any committee, any team works. Yes, there's one leader, but that leader does not get the credit for what goes on. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public?
Before I say anything, I'm going to tell you that for years, I have said that the commissioners and the mayor shouldn't be on the CRA at all. You guys shouldn't have been there to begin with from day one. It should have been other people totally. What is the sense of you being here, making the decisions, and then, oh, it has to go to the commission. Oh, wow, we're the commission. That just makes no sense at all, first of all. Second of all, if you have not rotated it in 6 years, why rotate it now? Tommy Rosano has not did anything wrong. He's good. He does what he does. He didn't even know what school he was at yesterday. And you're going to put him in charge of it? He did not even know what school he was at. He had to ask you guys. I leave it the way it is. The city's doing good with this building. He's working good with Kale. They're doing what they need to do. Leave it alone. Let it go. It's going to be there for what, a year and a half? Let it go.
Just so you're aware, a little history. Up until the end of November of 2004, the City Commission was never the CRA. The CRA was a separate board with Todd Angier, Rodney Green, who was an architect, Bill Dowd, who worked at Lexus, the gentleman who was our FP&L rep, and I don't remember the fifth one. When I left office, and I said I would never wanted to be the CRA board because I didn't want people to think we had our hand in their pockets. The moment I left, that current, with the addition of David McLean, made themselves the CRA board. I said years ago we shouldn't be the CRA board, but we're so into now between the lawsuit and everything else that it would not have been fair to others to change. We don't add anyone because it would no longer be, you can't do that now anyhow. But wholeheartedly agree that we should never have been, that it should have been 5 separate people giving us their opinion as an advisory board. They changed that in 2004.
I have in my
Well, you got to
possession.
tell us your city too.
I cannot do that. I have restraining orders and everything
I'm
against me.
going to tell you your city. It has nothing
No,
to do with
that's
your
not where
restraining order.
we live in Coral Gables right now.
I don't care where you live as long as you
We
say
rent
what
a
your
room.
city is.
We rent a room in Margate. We live in Coral Gables and Miramar. I am holding in my
And
hand
we're good.
restraining orders, police reports taking from your law enforcement
You
officers.
just said what you had to say.
From
It's fine. We're good.
from
You just
threats
said.
against my life, which you at early voting told me it was a good idea for my son-in-law. Don't tell me,
Never
Mayor.
said it.
Mayor,
Don't
I have a
even
witness.
dare go there
No,
with me.
No, we're not going to go
Don't
there.
go there with
I'll
me,
tell you where
Julie.
we're going to go.
I'll have you thrown out for lying,
Good.
but don't go there with me.
I would like to read a text that I received, and
I
will
totally
hand it-
ignore you.
I will hand it to the police chief, because I was at
What
the
did
police
that have
office.
to do with what we're discussing now,
It
which
has
is the
everything to do
CRA?
with it. This was sent to me by a resident that told me that another resident sent this to him, and I can't call a name, because I can give it to the police chief. I don't want to hear anything coming out of your mouth. You have disrespected me beyond any possible excuse. What you, the Rosanos, and that pig Nicole have done to Asia and her daughter.
You want to tell me what this has to do about the CRA,
will
or
never
we'll
be
turn off your
forgiven.
microphone?
And any of you, I will
You have a way to cut the
retaliate
mic?
against you.
Where?
You are retaliating against Tommy Rosano. Thank you.
All right, doesn't matter.
And now I would like police escort outside.
Trust me, nobody intends to.
Or anybody else. So I would like a police escort outside. Because I'm scared myself. It's scared.
Please do.
Hang on a minute.
It's crazy.
I think she needs the police to help her open the door. Okay, your turn.
Margate, Florida. And, the reason that this comes up and it becomes difficult is because it should have been done all along. We don't ask each mayor, what was the merits of your administration? What did you accomplish? Although we should, but we don't. And we rotate the mayor position on the commission. It's my opinion that this CRA board needs much more expertise than it has, not just a GC, not just whatever. This needs an architect, it needs an engineer, and it needs a developer that is unrelated to the city, that has experience with developing projects like this. So you guys and the chair should have considered expanding the CRA and added at the very least, even if they're not sitting on the board, but bringing in professional experience, which we don't have. You know, we learned from the previous CRA who made a deal with developers. It was a horrible deal. And they didn't have the experience to make that decision. And we should not repeat the mistakes of the past. But this is why a rotation is good. There's another reason why rotation is good. We don't want to set up even the slightest bit of temptation that a developer would want to go to the chair and tempt the chair to sway the board in a different direction that shouldn't be. And by rotating the positions of the CRA chair, we tend to eliminate that. By keeping the same chair for 7 years, we incentivize bad behavior. And I'm not saying your behavior was bad, absolutely not. But I'm saying there's so much money at stake. We're talking about a development that could be at least $500 million. You know, there's a lot of grease in that amount of money. So let's do what we should have done years prior. Let's rotate the chair. And Commissioner Rosano, you're still going to be just as capable as you were. You're still going to be just as leading the charge and as forceful as before. You're not eliminated in any position. And we don't ask this of the mayor position. We should not be asking it of the chair. And again, I say the chair and the CRA board should be bringing in additional professional expertise that has experience in this. Because the last CRA board that did a deal was horrible, and it was an uneducated deal. And thank God, Commissioner Rosano, and thank God, Mayor Schwartz and Commissioner Caggiano, that you had the courage to stand up against that developer. Let's not repeat that mistake. Thank you.
I'm going to say this and hopefully in closing, but you're coming after my character right now by saying that I could do this, I could do that. I've been here for 12 years, 13 as a commissioner, 8 years as a board, CRA board chair. Never once have I ever even tempted something. But yet you want to make this guy who will go to a homeless shelter and take food home with him, you want to make him the chair? Absolutely ridiculous. You know, you used to be a Tommy Rosano fan 8 months ago, correct? Something happened at that poll where you attacked a woman viciously and it was on film, and now you hate me. I get it. You came up, you're going to win your little battle, but I'm going to win the war. Is she still talking?
No.
He's addressing me.
No, but
the reason why I say real, Heaney, is because I stand behind what I say.
your microphone was just turned off.
I stand behind those words. It's overdue. Stand up and apologize.
Sit down.
Because it's long overdue.
If you're not quiet and stop now, we're going to remove you. Sit down.
Don't apologize for what happened.
Okay. So I'm going to have to ask the police chief to remove you.
So getting back to that day at the poll,
Let it go now.
you did attack a young woman over there. You went up to her. It was on video.
Rich, if you keep
And
talking, we are going to
It was
remove
something.
you.
It was something
Doesn't
that
matter.
you did in the past that started that. But yet, last year, 8 months ago, me and you used to be good friends, correct?
We're talking about city and CRA business.
I'm just talking about you're coming after my character, so I just want to address your character.
Have that
You came after my
conversation
character
later.
by saying
Don't
that
answer.
that I
I'm
could be
warning you.
tempted. I could be tempted to do something.
All right. If you don't stop, I'm going to ask
Wait,
the chief
listen.
to walk you out. I'm going to throw you out otherwise.
So, and I'm going to rewind 4 years ago. You were the one that was anti-968 apartment units. I've always been against dense dwelling. I asked every one of the guys, the three that came up, if they would go down to at least 500 units. Would they? They said they would. This guy right here that you want, and you guys are probably going to get as your chair, the developer mentioned 2,200 units, and he thought it was a great idea. So 4 years ago, when we were friends, it was no 968 apartments.
No Pierman, no Booker, no Bush. No 968 apartments.
No Booker, no
Same
Pierman,
Morgan.
no Bush. Now it's Caggiano, 2,200 units. You know, so you guys, I understand what you guys are doing. I get it, Arlene. I don't think it's fair. You know, like again, I'll blow circles around this guy, anything to do with development, any time of the year. And you want to talk about somebody that could be tempted? This is the only one up here probably that could be tempted. So Arlene, by you picking him, it shows on you too, as well.
I don't expect that anybody sitting up here, whether it were me, Joanne, Antonio, Anthony, or you, could be tempted by anything in particular that's going on from these developers. Nobody questions your qualifications or anything else. Should it have been rotated 7, 8 years ago? Absolutely. But what, and why make it personal to go after him with the kind of remarks you're making now, which have nothing to do with whether or not we're going to vote on a new CRA chair? Hey, enough or I'm going to have you all thrown out. Anybody else from the public?
Hi. Margate resident.
Thank you.
I was not going to say anything tonight, but wow. So a bunch of people who were friends or not friends anymore, we're building a downtown that I have been waiting over 20 years for, and now you want to take a man who has been the chair of the CRA and replace him, but the gentleman is a contractor. He does this for a living, and if I remember listening to the old audios, because you didn't video everything, back I think when Tommy started, wasn't somebody just letting all the contractors come in and charge them a ton of money for doing something that Mr. Rosano got a ton of money off on? And he even said, I will give you the number of how much it should cost to demolish that building. And he did, and they came within $500 of what he said. So he knew what everything was supposed to cost. But yet, we was not having this information, and we as a city were getting ripped off left and right because, you know, they just want to charge more money. And now it's even worse with the economy. So you didn't rotate, but now that we're building the downtown, you're deciding to rotate, and you're taking the only person that has the qualifications, the skills, and the knowledge, who's been doing this for years, and you're taking him off as the chair. I don't understand why anybody would do that. That you're not thinking it through. We've been waiting for over 20 years for this. I don't understand what any of you are thinking. And you know more than anybody, I totally agree with you. CRA should never be the commissioners. Yes, and thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public? Right, no, we have somebody come. Hang on.
A Margate resident, I was not planning on getting up to speak either. Mine is more of a question than a comment. Does the chair have any more power than just a regular? Is it like the same thing like the commission, except you get to set the agenda and whatever? So is there any advantage? I mean, aside from that, let's say you had it for a while.
Can I answer? I'll answer if the mayor, can I answer that?
Sure.
The CRA chair sets the agenda, and to me, that's the most powerfulest thing there is. There's an item coming up with the golf course. The mayor is going to set the agenda. She can push it off, push it off. I've never done anything like that, but to set an agenda, it's powerful. You're going to meet with your city manager. You're going to meet with the developers who have their ideas when they want to put them on. So you can set the agenda and basically pace things. So, and they do respect your opinion more, just like anybody would, as a mayor than a commissioner or a chair rather than a board member. So as far as the power, there's no real power except for setting the agenda, and it's just maybe you just get informed first of all overall. So.
But everybody has to vote though, still, right?
Everybody votes equally, yeah.
Okay, just wanted.
Thank you.
Not a Margate resident, but I have been a Margate supporter for years.
Since you just said not a Margate resident, then why don't you just simply say what city you're from?
North Lauderdale.
Thank you.
The CRA has fought for a long time to get a good, solid downtown, a city center they can all be proud of. It is near there. And now when we get near to the final steps, you want to replace the man that has guided them away from the 900 and some odd residents and give it back to the group that wanted to put thousands of residents in there? Isn't this just pulling the rug out of a good city downtown center at the last minute? It's been working for years, developing, getting away from the bad deal that was made, getting into a better deal. You own the property. The man has helped guide the CRA to the point where we now have good, hopeful plans for a good downtown city center. And now you want to take it away from him and let it go back to 1,000 residents again? Isn't that just throwing all that work? If that's what you're going to do, you should have just let the last guy do it. You made that guy get out, get it under your control again, and now you want to go throw it into the wind? That doesn't make sense. Thank you.
I don't know where you got that idea from, because that's not coming from, that's misinformation on your part.
Misinformation?
Yes.
What is information? That you can't go back to residents? What's wrong?
First of all, it's a decision to be made by 5 of us. 3 of us stopped it from happening. Nobody's putting thousands of anything in one place. That's why you heard Commissioner Rosano talk about the fact that he's talked about the 500 units. So you're misinformed when you're under that impression. And I take it personal when you don't think I had anything to do with getting rid of 968 apartments, because I had a lot to do with it. 3 of us did.
It just seems like...
Because someone mentioned 2,200 doesn't mean it went anywhere. You don't see anybody approving those plans. Someone came up and made a suggestion. They were asked, would you do less? Their answer was yes. That's where we are at that point. And right now, we have not chosen anyone. We are looking at developments that 2 of them at least have made to see exactly what that looks like. But you are misinformed if you are under the impression that people are looking to put up 1,000 units anywhere.
It's still
I'm
open.
telling you that.
It could be 1,000 units.
And I could be 5'7", but I'm not.
Madam Mayor, I would also,
Thank you.
I would also instruct you that the CRA business and not city business right now on
That's
your
true.
agenda is the appointment of the
That's
chair.
right. We're not supposed to talk about the CRA. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder.
My resident, and I just think that both these items, B and C, for the approval of the chair and vice chair of the CRA, should be tabled and postponed, since one of the commissioners and possible nominees is not present to be able to provide any comment. They're not able to defend themselves or give reason why they should be one of these positions. So I would suggest that you table this to give a fair share and ability to comment to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public? Commissioner Rosano, you saw the light on.
Yeah, I'm going to say this in closing, guys. As long as I was chairing the CRA, I've approved or went with every project that the commissioners, the board members wanted to go with. We won awards, we won tellies, we won things at our conferences, and it's always been us. Everybody thinks I'm a me guy. I'm not a me guy, but I will tell you this: if I, Tommy Rosano, did not vote in 2013 or 15 against that project, and then go along and get what I thought was my friend Anthony and my friend Arlene to come onto the commission. I fought like hell for them in 2016 to get here. We stopped this project.
Right.
But if it wasn't for me at that time, they'd already have probably 300, 400, 500 units over there. And all I'm saying, Arlene, is that the presentation a couple weeks ago, when it was 2,200 units, he was all for it. Every project was over, well, 800 to 1,000 units, and he was for it. I'm for a totally different downtown than maybe what he's for. I think we're all close to what we want, but I've never heard from the residents that they wanted over 1,000 units. You know that. The signs were up, no 968, but now you're okay with 1,000, 2,000. We're actually even him leading, you know?
Yeah, you are tonight.
That's great, and I hope you are.
Stop.
Professional expertise to help you guys, because your ego is out of
Do me a favor. Please walk Mr. out.
Okay.
Enough.
So with that being said,
Wouldn't be the first time.
I will just
Probably won't
ask,
be the last either.
I will just ask that we table this to the next meeting where all 5 commissioners are here, and maybe I can get some people. I didn't ask these people to come. They came because they wanted to, but if you want me to get people to come here, I have no problem getting people to come here. I didn't think it would result to that. I honestly didn't. But you know what? It is what it is. So at this time, because there's not a full 5-person board here, I'm going to ask that we table this item.
Is there a second on that? That dies for a lack of second.
Thank you, Arlene.
Anyone else from the public? Then please call the roll.
Commissioner Rosano?
Never.
Commissioner Caggiano?
Yes.
Commissioner Simone?
Yes.
Mayor Schwartz?
Yes. Item number C, please.
Item C is a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Margate, Florida, approving the appointment of someone as Vice Chair of the City of Margate Community Redevelopment Agency Board, providing for an effective date. This resolution is for your consideration this evening.
Anybody have an idea of a vice chair?
I'll do Antonio Orsirio.
Second.
Okay, any comments from the city commission?
Yeah, I'd like to insert the name Joanne Simone.
I decline.
How convenient.
I would have
How
seconded that one.
convenient.
I would have seconded that one. I would have seconded, but she declined. I wouldn't have had a problem with that.
And the reason I declined was because I do not have the training that I feel. No, I have never heard, I have never heard him ever say, hey, stop. You know what? Remove him. Remove him.
I'm going to recess the meeting.
Joanne, you don't know shit, and you're putting the guy in the... The only dude that does is this guy.
Yeah?
Have a good night.
All in
Sit there
better.
and smirk, Anthony. He's with your wife.
All in
No, it isn't a nice one. It's disgusting. You can leave too, all of you keep it up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're not supposed to call out from, you know what? Either you conduct yourselves like adults and not children who go after each other personally, or leave. That's not what goes on here.
You're going after people.
You know what? We're going to clean out the whole audience in about 2 seconds, because that's not how adults act at a meeting like this. You may not like something. There have been plenty of things I haven't liked. You live with it. We all are going to have the same vote at the end of the day when it comes to anything that goes across the street. So that doesn't matter. Okay.
Swear on the Bible that you
Stop.
Stop.
Not a problem.
Swear on the Bible.
I don't have to. I'm giving you my word. We didn't. And you can leave too.
On the phone, so I know.
Really? Okay.
I do.
I would suggest you stop now.
I know.
I would suggest you stop now.
You know, I know.
Okay. Where do we go? Okay,
You have
so
a
it's,
motion and a second.
yes, we have a motion and a second. Comments from anybody up here? Comments from the public? Rather than talk from there, get up and speak over there on the record. Otherwise, be quiet. No comments from the public? Call the roll.
Commissioner Rosano?
Just going to say this. When I first got here in 2012, I had 4 commissioners against me. I feel like I have that now. That made me the strongest commissioner ever. 4 years later, I ran unopposed. And you know what, guys? Deal with me, because you're going to have fun.
It's not personal.
Bullshit.
No, it's not for me. It's not personal. It's not personal for me. I don't have any desire one way or the other.
Watch what comes out now, Arlene.
Okay. I love being threatened. I'll read some of your emails.
Don't threaten the police.
I threatened the police.
I was there.
Let it go.
You
I have
want
no
to
clue.
come out? I'll bring it out.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
I'll go on the record now.
Go forth and go do, but do it when we're talking on that.
Threatening the police.
I threatened,
You want to go
okay.
there?
Okay, let's bring up something that was proven
Let's take a
wrong.
vote.
I was there.
Okay,
You have a point of order to call the
okay,
question.
call the vote, please.
Commissioner Rosano?
No.
Commissioner Caggiano?
Yes.
Commissioner Simone?
Yes.
Mayor Schwartz?
Did we even ask him if he wanted to go and do this?
He's got it.
Okay, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Motion passes 3-1.
Meeting adjourned, thank you.
I wasn't here for the last meeting. I wish I could have been here for the last meeting. Not sure it would have made a difference, but I just wanted to give my 2 cents. With a year and a half left, it was not the best move to make a position change. Doesn't make sense for vice chair. I'd heard that I was nominated. I declined the position. I don't want it.